but I'm just talking about how I'm an only child, but the fact that I can, in any situation, just, like, my default, like, if I'm feeling bad or, like, just, you know, maybe, like, I'm feeling bad about something went wrong, whatever, like, I can always go back to, like, I have these guys. You know, I have Sidhu, David, Gitchi, and it's like, and, you know, us four are really tight because, you know, it was like the very beginning, like since we were like 2-3 years old.
I don't remember life like without you guys. I don't remember
life without you guys. Exactly, but like that's not to say it's just us four. Like in our community, there's like an entire fucking like there's so many kids.
Like if you ever like, do you have any doubt that if you ever like called up my brother out of anywhere, like he'd be like, no, sorry, I can't.
Dude, no, of course not.
And like that's crazy because like I feel that way about Chandanpir or Nandanpir. Right? Like, I feel like legit, no matter what was going on, if I just called them up and I was like, bro, I need you to bail me out of jail. Like, it'd be like, yeah, cool. Like that. And it's like, what the heck?
And it's not like it's not a friendship thing. It's deeper than that.
It really is.
Yeah. And it's unexplainable, like, because, you know, like, because that's just how we've grown up. And I can't imagine life any other way without having those sorts of relationships.
And it's just
it's stupid.
It's such a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it really is. And you don't... There's no other way to describe it beyond, like, you get a little bit older, you see a bit more of the world, and you're like, damn, like, not everyone has that.
Yeah.
And I think it makes you a bit more empathetic, because it then makes you want to, like, see if you can create that environment, like everywhere I go, or everywhere you go, like, you kind of want people to feel as much of that as you can. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you want people to feel like that, but it's just, you know, it sounds like we're gushing and like we're bragging, and to be honest, we kind of are. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, yeah, it's just, I don't know how it happened, and I don't know why.
Bro, I think you said it's not just a coincidence, man. I don't know. I think
fucking know. I think in life you attract people towards you that you attract the wavelength you put out, right? And I mean, that's not a groundbreaking thing. Everyone says that. Yeah. But what I realize is, like, I think if opportunity finds you working, and by that I mean, like, if you're just trying to do your best in the world, and, like, put out love, and, like, do what you can for your community, for the people around you, then, like, yeah, you just end up meeting people who feel like that too. And I don't know how our parents met. I have no idea. I don't know how our parents met Davik's parents, but yeah, everyone was just trying to do the best they could. And one thing led to another, and now we're shooting this podcast, like, 21 years later, you know? Like, that's the way, it's like the world's greatest novel. I don't know how it worked, but it did. And it just...
It feels like it wasn't supposed to happen, like, for everything to, you know, be like...
See, and this is why I say life is suffering. Okay. So this is where this comes down to, right? So the idea, like, that I say life is suffering, people hear that and they're like, that's so depressing. And I really don't think so. Okay. And here's why. Here's my logic. Life is suffering. Okay. So when things are going really bad, right, it's not, like, surprising. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, like, alright, things are going bad. It's not like I don't need to get overly depressed about it, or I don't need to feel, you know, I don't need to feel the weight of why isn't things going right. Because it's like, because life is hard. Like, the sad truth is, and this is genuinely something that makes me, like, really sad, but here's the truth of the world we live in, guys. Like, some people in some parts of the world are born and they suffer terribly and then they die. And I'm not saying they don't have happiness in their life. I'm not saying they don't have moments of happiness but I'm saying they're surrounded by just a lot of suffering. And you can just kind of look around the world today and you realize that. Like, people are hurting intensely. There are kids who are born into war-torn areas and, like, they die.
That's it.
And that's it. Yeah, they have happiness in their life and they have people who care about them, but they don't get to sit around and do this and explore these conversations the same way. And so that to me makes like that, you know, and it's not my idea. This is like a Buddhist philosophy. You know, life is suffering. That's the fundamental tenet of Buddhism, and in some ways of all religion, definitely of Hinduism. And like, okay, so if life is suffering and things are going terrible, it's kind of like, yeah, all right, like this is actually the way things are. But then also when things are going well, it's like, holy crap, things are going well.
Yep.
And it's just, you can appreciate it so much more because you know it's not normal or it's not expected.
Right.
And so for me, you know, this is a life philosophy I prescribe to. It's, I do believe life is suffering, but that in no way makes me sad. Because, excuse me, like, when I feel this way, it's mind-boggling to me that I get to feel this way. And it's like, more than a blessing, it's like, I just can't believe it. Right? And for me, in my personal life, and the challenges I faced, it's just a philosophy that's worked really well. Right? And it's a mix of Buddhism and Stoicism and that sort of stuff, and when stuff is hard, I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, yeah, like, okay, cool. Like, my grandparents died. That's hard. That's hard, but like, yeah, of course they died. And then, oh, I failed this test. And damn. But yeah, okay. I'm not saying I don't feel bad. I feel terrible. When my grandparents died, I was a wreck. But like, okay. And then on the opposite side of that, when I feel like this, when I feel like this towards you guys or the family, I like literally have to stop and just be like, what is going on? How can this possibly exist? And I feel even better.
So it kind of sounds like what you're saying is the first step to, you know, the path to feeling happy, you know, like feeling accomplished, being like, oh wow, things are going well, is accepting of the fact first that, you know, like accepting of the fact of the world's failures, accepting of the fact that, you know, like life is suffering, right? Like starting with that.
Or at least accepting that things don't always go well, and that's not abnormal. It's kind of like,
Okay.
You know, but we see, like, you see it everywhere, right? Like, we can talk about startups. 99% of startups fail.
99.99999.
Yeah. So, like, if you have a startup, you're gonna fail.
The first one.
Right? Like, very, very
Yeah.
likely, you're going to fail. Which means, if you're succeeding, holy crap, that's, like, ridiculous. But if you're failing, you don't need to feel like, oh, I lost everything, I failed. And I know that's easier said than done, and if I was ever in that situation, I'd absolutely feel like that as well. But there's also the acknowledgement that, like, this isn't unique. Like, yeah, of course. Of course I'm failing. Like, I'm supposed to. Like, this is pretty much 100% of the time. Like, if I start a startup, I'm going to fail. So when it fails, I don't have to be like, it failed. It's like, yeah, it failed.
And it's crazy how all of us still, you know, like, when I say all of us, like, I'm talking about me. I'm afraid of, you know, pursuing a startup sometimes because of that fear of, like, failure and whatnot. Even though I can listen to him say, like, that 99.99% of startups fail, I can agree with that. And I can be accepting of the fact that, you know, like, it will fail, but that's not the point. Even understanding all of that, I'm still scared.
But you know what that is? It's because in order to try, you have to have the faith that you are the 0.00001% who won't fail. It's the only way you can start. Because why would you start something you know you're going to fail?
Right.
So in order to even start, you have to have the faith that I'm going to be the one who doesn't.
After accepting of the fact.
Accepting the fact. So, and that's why, and it comes, so the conversation about relationships and family and stuff, that's why I think for me it's just so amazing. Because I accept the fact that this isn't the way it should be. And that it's not the way it usually is.
Yeah.
And despite that, I have this. And I don't just have it with my family in Calgary, like with you guys. Somehow, I have it with my friends in Waterloo. And somehow, I have it with people I met in Waterloo who aren't even in my life anymore. But who I still, when I text, I get giddy. Right? Shout out to Amatullo. What's up? So it's like it's just absurd, dude. It's just absurd that this all happens and that it works out.
Yeah, man.
But like something about that acceptance, for me at least, something about the acceptance that things are usually not that great, just makes me realize. It just makes me feel more and more thankful. Like I've been waking up this past year, just stupid thankful every day, and I'm thankful for the fact that I'm waking up thankful. Like, that's crazy. That's just some next level stuff, bro.
Blessings on blessings on
Blessings on blessings on blessings. Yeah, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I got 100 things I could talk about, bro.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's so many cool things that whenever me and this guy get together, I don't even know where the conversation goes. We start talking about some cool.
And this is
stuff.
why I'm gonna miss it, man. I'm gonna miss like making this happen is gonna be a bit hard. I mean, it's
We
gonna be
still
a
talk
bit
about
harder. It'll,
phone,
if anything,
man.
it'll be easier. To
Yeah,
be honest, to
yeah.
make one of these videos will be
Make it is.
easier.
Yeah.
Now that you're there,
Yeah.
you're just different.
But it's different.
It's
That's
different.
the thing.
But I guess
Everything's
we can't be
changing.
scared of different, bro. Can't be scared of different. 'Cause
Different could be really good.
that's how we got here. Because our parents were like, alright, let's try.
Yeah, our parents
different.
said, "Fuck it, man." It's like I can't get over it because right now, if I want to like drive to like downtown and like say, "Fuck it, I'm driving to down," my dad's like, "Yo, what the fuck you mean, dog?" You know?
Yeah,
But
it's
my
just
dad,
such a different. Yeah. Oh
and my
God.
dad said to his parents like, "Yo, like I'm going to Canada."
And they're like,
What is Canada?
What is Canada?
Canada is Calcutta.